Back in January 2024, the internet took one look at Palworld and said,
Yep, this is just Pokemon with guns.
memes exploded, journalists rolled their eyes, and Nintendo's lawyers probably started sweating bullets. Everyone thought this was going to be a one-week joke, the kind of game you laugh at, uninstall and forget by Monday. Fast forward to today and
Surprise! The joke's on literally everyone.
Palworld didn't just stick around, it thrived. Millions of players, massive updates, and more content than most AAA studios cough up in 5 years. What started as a
Haha, sheep with a rocket launcher
is now a full-blown cultural phenomenon. And now with the 1.0 update on the horizon, Pocketpair isn't just polishing their baby, they're basically strapping it to a jet engine and aiming straight to the throne of survival gaming. What was once dismissed as a meme is now one of the most anticipated updates of the year. So, let's break down how Palworld went from being the internet's punchline
to the internet's obsession.
Remember when Palworld launched and the internet went, haha, Pokemon with AR-15s? Yeah, turns out that joke aged about as well as milk left in a sauna, because now Palworld has built an actual empire. What started as a meme is now sitting on millions of players, updates so frequent they feel like Twitch subs, and a fanbase that oscillates between this game is brilliant and
why can't my pal load faster?
The 1.0 update isn't just polishing bugs, it's strapping jet engines to the game. Pocketpair is basically saying,
oh, you thought we are done? That was just the tutorial, buddy.
We're talking new features, new mechanics, and probably new ways to make your cute pal commit devastating crimes in HD. Oh, and let's not forget how bold this is. Most studios would release one major patch, throw in 3 skins and call it a season pass. Pocketpair?
No.
They're doubling down like a gambler who just hit blackjack, then found another blackjack hiding under the table. Palworld's glow up isn't subtle. It's not a quiet haircut or new outfit.
It's your nerdy classmate showing up after summer break, ripped, rich, and somehow dating 3 people at once.
Everyone's staring and wondering, how the hell did this happen? So, what's the freaking secret here? How did a tiny indie developer embarrass half the billion-dollar industry? Well, it's easy. They actually freaking listened.
Wild concept, right? Listening to players instead of treating them like walking credit cards.
Pocketpair didn't just patch bugs, they dropped content bombs. They gave people reasons to log in, reasons to grind, reasons to ignore their freaking families. They weren't scared of shaking things up because, newsflash, people like when games change. Meanwhile, some AAA studio is still charging $10
for a new freaking hat.
It feels like Pocketpair is cooking in the kitchen while Ubisoft is still googling how to boil water.
Sorry, Ubisoft.
Palworld is what happens when developers respect their community instead of locking them in a freaking loot box. This isn't just game development, it's game development with style. Pocketpair didn't just build a fanbase, they built a cult following, and with 1.0 that cult is about to become a full-blown country. But to understand how Pocketpair reached this point, we need to step back and take a trip down memory lane, because guys, Pocketpair didn't just slap numbers on patches, they treated each one like a content explosion. This was the first real holy crap moment. Raids dropped, players lost their minds, and suddenly Palworld isn't just a meme, it was a full-blown challenge. People queued up like it was Black Friday at Best Buy, except the mobs were deadly
and adorable.
The first new island arrived, along with fresh pals and quality of life improvements. Suddenly your world wasn't just your base anymore, it was a sprawling
a bunch of islands of possibilities.
Compare this to AAA studios adding 3 new skins and calling it a season pass.
Yeah, Pocketpair just flexed.
A massive landmass with a new faction, new pals, and brand new mechanics. This update turned the game into a survival playground where you actually had to think, plan, and occasionally watch your sheep with a rocket launcher save your freaking life. And yes, it was as ridiculous as it sounds. Finally, the awaited patch. Players across all platforms could unite. No more PC only or console isolation. Imagine Fortnite's first crossplay, except this time the game actually made you want to play on all platforms.
Community chaos, now fully global.
The much anticipated collaboration dropped alongside even more quality of life tweaks. This patch was basically Pocketpair saying we can innovate and polish at the same time. Sorry, not sorry. Players got new content, new mechanics,
and more reasons to cancel life outside the game.
Each patch didn't just maintain hype, they freaking exploded it. Compare this to other live service games where updates feel like receiving a stale sandwich. Palworld, every patch was like getting a flamethrower in your freaking stocking. Now here is the wild part, guys. Palworld is a Frankenstein of ideas that should not fit together. Collect adorable creatures, force them to build your sweatshop, give them AK-47s and fight bosses bigger than your apartment building.
On paper, it's a parody. In practice, it's freaking crack.
But it works because the systems actually matter. Crafting isn't busy work, it's essential. Combat isn't button mashing, it's madness where your choice of pal can mean the difference between victory and watching your base get freaking shredded. Base building isn't just decoration, it's the core of survival, and players went from haha funny sheep with a gun to
Oh no, I'm optimizing production chains at 3 AM and spreadsheets are involved.
Pocketpair. You have an amazing game. They balance absurdity with depth. It's a meme game, but the meme never gets old because underneath the joke is a rock-solid survival simulator. That's why people came for the laughs, but stayed for the grind. That's why it works better than half the games with survival in their Steam tags. Oh, and the community. Oh my goodness graciosa. Palworld's community didn't just embrace the game, they detonated it into culture. The memes were freaking legendary. Screenshots of sheep carrying rocket launchers spread like wildfire. Clips of PAL factories had more views than AAA trailers. Reddit turned into free advertising overnight. But here's the kicker. Pocketpair actually listened. Players said, hey, this system is clunky, and a month later it was fixed. They said, we want new bosses, and boom, new bosses. Compare that to Blizzard, where community requests get filed directly into the recycling bin. This two-way street built loyalty. Players weren't just spending money, they were investing time, memes, and borderline cult-level devotion. People who swore the game was just a joke in January 2024
Are still grinding today.
that's not hype, that's addiction engineered through freaking respect. Now guys, Palworld didn't just disrupt gaming, it gave the entire industry a panic attack. Overnight, every boardroom from EA to Activision had some executive nervously asking,
Why didn't we think of this?
Palworld showed the entire world that you don't need a billion-dollar budget, a celebrity cameo, or a 10-year-old development cycle to blow the doors off the freaking industry. What you need is creativity, consistency, and the audacity to hand a flamethrower to a sheep. And that terrifies the big studios because if Pocketpair can do it, suddenly all those excuses about
Live service fatigue and market reality sound like hot freaking garbage.
Palworld isn't just a game, it's proof that gamers actually know what they want, and they will show up in droves when a developer dares to deliver it. Here's the beauty of Palworld, it never stopped being funny. The memes didn't die down, they evolved. From Pokemon with guns to Pokemon with a corporate empire, the internet keeps fueling Palworld's momentum with free freaking advertising. Every time a new update drops, TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit light up like it's Christmas morning, except instead of gifts,
It's a rabbit dude wielding SMGs.
this feedback loop is unbeatable. The game feeds the memes feed the hype, and the hype feeds the sales. Pocketpair somehow weaponized comedy into marketing strategy. You're not just playing Palworld, you're part of a running internet joke that keeps getting funnier with each freaking update. And the kicker, 1.0 is about to immortalize that meme forever. Palworld won't just be remembered as that silly game with guns and critters. It will be remembered as the meme that conquered the industry. So guys, what does 1.0 mean? It means Palworld is done proving itself. It already smashed sales records, survived memes, and kept a community hooked for a full year.
Now 1.0 is Pocketpair's middle finger to every doubter, except more pals, more bosses, new biomes, refined systems, and probably some more ridiculous new way to weaponize your innocent little critters.
This is the point where Palworld stops being Pokemon with guns and becomes its own genre. Think about it, while Ubisoft is still delaying Skull and Bones for the 57th freaking time, Palworld is casually rewriting survival gaming in real time. 1.0 is the line in the sand. It says we're not just a meme, we're here to dominate. And if Pocketpair keeps this energy, other studios are going to start sweating
Blood.
Palworld 1.0 isn't just an update, it's the coronation. The meme has become the monarch, and honestly,
Long live the king.
now, what do you guys think? Is Palworld about to define the next generation of survival games, or will the industry catch up and finally learn a lesson from it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because if this is the future of gaming,
We're in for one hell of a freaking ride.
and guys, thank you once again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content in the future. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.